Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kev's Movie Corner. I am Kev. This week, Nikki is joining me. Welcome, Nick.
Hi.
And we're actually talking about two movies, and that is Santa Claus Is Coming to Town and A Muppet Christmas Carol. So, I had this idea last week as I was sitting on my sofa, because I'm always trying to think of ways to have you do these movie episodes with me. So, I text you on Saturday or something and said, what was your favorite Christmas movie? And you said the one with the song One Foot in Front of the Other. And I had no idea what that was.
Yep.
And then you sent me the video, like the YouTube link or whatever. So I had seen the picture from this, like the red-haired kid. Which
Kris Kringle.
is Kris Kringle, is Santa Claus. Which I didn't realize because I've never seen this before. But I've seen like previews for it and stuff. Like I've seen the picture and things, but I've never actually seen the movie. So this came out in 1970. The IMDb little snippet thing is the thing that IMDb says is literally like 7 words. A mailman reveals the origins of Santa Claus. That is it.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, it's true, I guess, but it's not like that's very little details.
It's like if I had to describe it, I would say it gives one version of like the lore of Christmas. And like if you know me, you know I love lore and stories and history and
Watching it for the first time was interesting because it gives you
it gives explanations for a lot of things. It's like the whole movie is about kids asking questions and parents not having to answer them. They just show them the movie.
It's all just it's all answers to why is Santa the way he is, which I never really thought about, and I don't know, like I didn't obviously the main podcast is called Insufficient Friends, so I didn't look into this at all. I'm just going to say that now. But I don't know if any of this stuff is actually like based on true lore of Santa Claus.
A lot of it is.
It just seems like it's just something like we just made this up and this is a fun way to do it. Your two main characters in this are the mailman, who is the narrator, and Santa Claus. And the mailman is voiced by Fred Astaire.
Yes, and I love Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire's great.
So I
didn't realize he was
one of my favorite movies, and so that's Fred Astaire and Audrey Hepburn. So I like Fred Astaire for sure.
I didn't realize that Fred Astaire was in this, and then Santa is voiced by Mickey Rooney. So another huge name. Now this is like I said, it kind of goes through how Santa became who he was, and it starts with him like a baby being like given up to this crazed leader of a town,
Burgermeister Meisterburger.
Burgermeister Meisterburger, who like doesn't want anything to do with it, so the kid gets taken to like a group of elves. Is basically what they are. They're old elves, and that's how he becomes part of the elves, and they already had made presents and used to be present makers for the king, and like it's just a weird kind of story. And it kind of goes through like, toys were eventually banned because Burgermeister got hurt by one, and that's why Santa had to start going down the chimney and like start bringing toys to kids. It's a wild ride, folks. It is all over the place,
but I love it.
And then like the whole reason that he has a beard is because there were wanted posters and he's trying to hide. Like there's so many random things in this movie. that
Yeah.
I thought
It's
were.
so good though. And so my favorite song, my one of my favorite like Christmas songs, which is not even a Christmas song, but it's put one foot in front of the other, and it's because
I
he's
figured that.
trying to teach the guy in the forest, the wizard in the
Yeah,
forest,
the
how
Winter
to be
Wizard.
nice to
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah. And he's like, you just have to take it one step at a time. And
yeah.
then they go into this full song. But we grew up singing, my parents sent me a video the other day of them dancing to this song. And they used to always dance us around the living room. And
Okay.
I don't know if we actually like learned to walk with this song, but I remember being little and mom would, be walking us
Yeah.
around and singing that.
That's
So
actually I
I
never thought
always
about
liked
that.
it.
That's a good song to learn to like teach kid how to walk one foot in front of another. Like that's
Yeah.
literally what you do. And
Yep.
it is, it's it was fun. Like I said, I'd never
I
seen it.
like the animation style. It's just
Yeah,
very cute and eclectic. The stop animation
the
or
stop
whatever it's
motion.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was most people have seen things by this was done by Rankin and Bass, which in the 70s they're the ones that did like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, like all of those TV specials that you watched as a kid. This
Yeah.
was done by them. It's the same group. Almost a lot of stuff that they did was stop motion animation. Um
Hmm.
and it's very, if you watch it, it kind of like jumps around, which is fun.
Hmm.
It's just a
It's very
different
nostalgic.
type of animation. Yeah, it is very nostalgic. Um,
Yeah.
and
I like the music too.
yeah, um, and the music is fun. I didn't understand why a couple of these songs were in here. I did like the like first Toy Makers song. It's
Yeah.
the first one, and then the like play on it like no more. When the Burgermeister's singing the
Yes.
same thing, just change the words around to where it's like no more toys.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but I do think besides Santa Claus is coming to town and Fred Astaire singing
I
Santa
don't know
Claus is
if you
coming to
caught
town.
it, but the scene where the school teacher
Uh huh.
is like singing into her own reflection
That one's
in the
weird.
pool.
Yeah.
It is, but it makes me think of Grease when Sandy was singing into her own reflection. I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional or if the two were even related at all, but it's just like it's just very eclectic, and I like eclectic things, so
Yeah.
it's a cute little movie.
That's the one that I'm like one foot in front of the other. I kind of get where it was put in her here.
Yeah.
Her song was just kind of weird and it seemed like it was just weird and thrown in there, and it was also very trippy. Like it was almost like I was on a trip or something. Like it
Mhm.
was not. It didn't have the same visuals as anything else in the movie, so it was kind of
Yeah.
weird. Um,
It's like they almost just threw something in that was very different just to mark like this is the turning point of the movie or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
something like that.
But
But
mm,
obviously my favorite is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That would be my favorite song in this if I had to pick one. But
yeah.
um, but I thought this was
Mm,
it was a fun movie. It was a lot of fun to
yeah.
watch. Especially never seeing it before. I'm kind of surprised because I
Mhm.
remember watching I watch Frosty the Snowman almost every year. I remember seeing
Yeah.
um, Rudolph and stuff like that, but I don't remember seeing
Mhm.
this one. I don't know if this one wasn't as popular as like Rudolph and Frosty, but
I don't know because
I
I grew up in our household. This was the Christmas movie to watch, so I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know if it
interesting.
wasn't as popular as the others or yeah.
Yeah,
Which one is the one with the island of the misfit toys? Or
I think that's
that was
Rudolph.
Rudolph,
That's
right?
Rudolph. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember watching that one too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the same. It's the stop motion too. That same
Mm-hmm.
animation style, whereas Frosty is like drawn. It's a
Yeah.
different type of animation, but um, yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's about it
The
for
only
that one.
other
Yeah,
Yeah, the only other thing I have is just I love like it very much kind of makes fun of German culture. And which is funny to me because I have a lot of German ancestry, but it's like 1970 making fun of Germans. They're like very harsh
yeah,
and I mean Burgermeister Meisterburger.
yeah.
It's just always when I was little, I didn't catch any of like, the jokes and things, but when I was older, I obviously do, and it's funny to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's it.
it's an interesting
I like it. It's a
story.
cute little movie.
It is. It was fun, and I'll probably watch it again in the future. Um, But yeah, I think we'll go on to the next one. My favorite, and this is the reason that I thought this would be fun, because my favorite Christmas movie is A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because I love the Muppets. Like, the Muppets are ridiculously funny. They're ridiculous just in general. Because everything they do is just, it's a bunch of antics. And the story of A Christmas Carol is just, it's a fun story, but it's, just kind of it's something different with the Muppets always. So this movie came out in 1992. The IMDb description for this one is: Scrooge, an old miser who dislikes Christmas, is visited by spirits who foretell his future and share secrets from his past and present, which helps change his view on life. So it's just A Christmas Carol. It doesn't actually say anything about the Muppets, but it obviously is the Muppets.
Well, and I feel like obviously it's the Muppets, so there's creative liberty and sassy jokes and funny moments, but like in general, it follows the plot pretty closely.
Yeah, it does. And that was something that I saw when I was kind of looking a little more into it, is that they did take they took like a little bit of liberty to make it Muppets, because it's a bunch of puppets and their antics are ridiculous and their jokes are ridiculous. But overall, the story follows pretty closely to the actual story of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. The couple things that I thought were funny was the great Gonzo plays Charles Dickens, which is funny because he's a little blue alien, and the fact that he, like, and I read this somewhere, that they picked him to be Charles Dickens because he was the one that they thought would least likely be Charles Dickens.
I like that. He is funny in it.
And then his best friend, Rizzo the rat, is his co-narrator, who's just making jokes along the way and watching for food.
Yes.
Like,
I love the light the lamp, not the rat.
Light the lamp, not the rat. Light the lamp, not the rat. Yeah, and his tail's on fire, and then he gets thrown into the water. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So this is one of the first. This movie was actually directed by Jim Henson's son. Jim Henson was the voice of Kermit the Frog for years, and inventor of the Muppets. He died in 1990. This came out in 1992. So this was the first movie for the Muppets that was done without Jim Henson. So it wasn't, you didn't have Kermit being played by Jim anymore. You'd still had a bunch of the big name. Frank Oz still played Miss Piggy and a bunch of the main character, or a bunch of the characters. Dave Goelz played Gonzo, and Steve Whitmire actually took over the voice of Kermit for the movie. But I thought it was an interesting... I love this movie, and I also like Michael Caine. Is the fact that they get like actual big name people to play in some of these things is kind of funny. Like, you get a person like Michael Caine to play Scrooge in a movie with a bunch of Muppets. Like, I wonder... I didn't watch any interviews, but it'd be interesting to see what he thought about like working with a bunch of puppets.
Yeah, I mean, well, I told you I watched a little bit of an analysis video, and there wasn't any like interviews with Michael Caine, but just the guy who was doing this analysis said that he did take the role very seriously, like as serious as some of the other things.
Yeah.
And you can tell, I mean, it comes across in his acting, which,
yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to be honest, because I'm not a movie buff. I didn't really know the name Michael Caine, but when I looked him up, I knew.
Yeah.
I saw everything else that he did.
You see, and he's got a familiar face too. Like, he's got an instinctive face. Like, you,
yeah.
I always, when I explain it to people, because a lot of people don't know the names or something like that, especially a lot of the younger people that I work with a lot of times. When I explain or tell them, hey, yeah, it's got Michael Caine in it, they're like, who's that? And I just, the one that I usually go to is he played Alfred in the Dark Knight Batman series, which they then know, like, oh yeah, that guy. Okay, that guy. But yeah, he's been in a ton of things. Obviously, he's a I don't know if he's a knight or not. I wonder if is he Sir Michael Caine? I don't know if he's a knight or not, but
yes, Sir Michael Caine.
Sir Michael Caine. Anyway, did you said you well, you confessed to me that you didn't want to pay to watch the whole movie. So you watched videos of all the songs and you watched an analysis on it. What
I've seen it in the past. Like I've seen it before. It's just been a while.
Because your favorite song in the first one, in Santa Claus Coming to Town, is One Foot in Front of Another. Do you have a favorite song from this one? From the Muppet?
Honestly, I like Scrooge. I like when, Scrooge is walking through the town and all the villagers are singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it reminds me of like Beauty and the Beast or something when she's singing through the village, but I liked that, and I liked that, character. Well, I love lore. I like the lore of the character and, all the villagers singing about him.
Yeah. I like, I have 3 favorites, and I can't choose. I think I know which one's my favorite, but I have 3 that I really like. Scrooge is one of them, the first song. The Marley Brothers song, when they're singing to him is fun. And then the It Feels Like Christmas, the one with Christmas Present, the guy with the orange beard and hair. That's probably my favorite. And I think that's probably my favorite song. But
do you have a favorite like moment or joke? Because I wrote down what I think my favorite joke is, and it's one that I remember from watching it when I was little too. But do you have a favorite moment or joke in it?
I don't know that I mean, favorite moments are always the ones with Gonzo and Rizzo are my favorite moments, because it's just like a random little bit of levity in the middle of everything that's going on. The lighting the lamp and not the rat, that one's funny. There's towards the beginning, like when they're trying to get when they're at Scrooge's home towards the beginning, Gonzo falls for some. I don't remember if he falls out of what happens, but he falls. And Rizzo's like, "Are you okay, Gonzo? Dickens, Charlie, are you okay?" And Gonzo sits bolt up and just keeps going through the story. Like he's like, and then Rizzo's like, didn't even break his concentration. That's
a good one too.
Those two make me laugh out loud on a regular basis, even when I'm just sitting in my apartment watching this movie. Like, I watched it twice in the last 2 days. Like, I love this movie.
It is good. My favorite little, funny blip, and it's the one I remember from when I watched it when I was little, too, is when all the bookkeepers come into the door of the office and they're like, "We're so cold. Our pens have turned into inksicles." And then Scrooge is like, "Would you rather be unemployed?" And then they turn into tropical vacation, we're so warm. I like that one.
It just cuts back to him and they go, "Heat wave," and they start dancing. Like in grass skirts. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
There's so many random jokes that are funny in these things. But I think, like I said, my favorite, I don't have a particular one favorite, but the Gonzo and Rizzo is my favorites. Like also at the end when they're when the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come comes out and and they stick their head out of the church. And Rizzo's like, this is too scary. We have to. And Gonzo's like, yeah, we'll see you guys. You're on your own. We'll see you at the finale. Like, that's it. Like, they're just like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
um.
Yep.
So one thing I found that was interesting about this is there was actually supposed to be another song, in the middle that was cut. So there's a scene. The song is called "When Love Is Gone," and if you buy the soundtrack, you'll hear it. But it's the song for Belle, between Belle and Scrooge,
that she sings. That was part of the analysis. They said it's in the extended version, but not like the version a lot of people see.
It was cut out of the original because the chairman of Walt Disney Studios at the time thought that it would not appeal to younger people and that it would bring down the pace of the film, so they cut it out. Now a lot of them, or the people, well, Brian Henson, Jim's son and the director of the movie, argued that it should have been in there because the last song in the movie is "The Love We Found," which is supposed to be like it's supposed to be like a bookend, like you're supposed to have those two things. And this happened a few times in the in the Disney like Renaissance era type thing. This almost they tried one of the other big ones was they tried to cut Part of Your World out of The Little Mermaid, which is a very it's
like the most well-known one.
One of the most well-known songs of that movie. And they tried to cut it because they're like, "Oh, this is gonna pull down the pace. This isn't gonna be good for this movie." And the writers fought really hard to keep it in there, and it ended up staying. And it's obviously one of the most iconic songs of that movie because you have to have like the way I've heard it explained a lot of times is there has to be an "I want" song. Like there's always like an "I want" something to kind of give the main character something to go after, so that what they're
like
trying
a purpose,
to get. Like a purpose. But yeah, I love a Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm very happy that I got to watch it. I would have watched it anyway, but I watched it twice in the last 2 days, in as many days. So I just think it's fun. But anyway, these are. Maybe, is it a Christmas thing? Because I feel like a lot of Christmas and holiday movies are musicals. You ever notice that?
Well, I mean, think of when I think of Christmas, I think of Christmas tree, Christmas carols, and presents.
Yeah, that's true.
So music is very much a
part of the
Christmas season
Christmas.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a couple little things for us to go through, and I think this will be fun because I'm going to quiz you on these. So I have a list of the top 10 highest or best-selling Christmas singles of all time.
Okay.
This was done by Nielsen. It hasn't been updated since 2016, so it's been a few years,
so
but
no recent things, yeah.
But it's got some relatively recent things in it.
Like
when you were a child.
2000s and mid 2000s. Okay.
Yeah. So it's got some things in there like that. But I got the top 10 on my screen. So, what can you guess? Like, what would you think is in the top 10? One is, I feel like, pretty easy. But we'll see how you do with this.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree?
Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree is on the list. It is number 5. The Brenda Lee.
Oh, okay.
Brenda Lee, 1958. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, number 5.
Wait, what was this highest grossing, or what was the
best selling?
Best selling.
Yeah. So this isn't like streams or anything.
Silent Night.
Not on the list.
Okay. Silent Night is the most re-recorded.
That might be. That might be why it's not on here, because it's not
like a specific
it's not a specific recording that did well.
Blue Christmas, Elvis?
No, not on the list. Not on the list.
Hard Candy Christmas by Dolly?
No, not on the list. Sorry.
Clearly these are the ones I listen to then.
I listen to the Muppet Christmas Carol a lot. There is a few of these that I listen to on a pretty regular basis, but
I don't listen to Christmas music really.
2 of them are from movies. Well, 2 of them are specifically from movies.
Is Mistletoe on there?
Mistletoe is on there. Justin Bieber. That is number 4.
Mariah Carey?
Yes. That's number 1, by the way. All I Want for Christmas Is You is number 1. That's why I said I figured that one's easy, because it's always like...
And I don't even think of that.
Always a thing. Mistletoe's number 4. It's above Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. I'm sorry, but...
I mean, it was very, very popular at the time. That's still on like my Christmas playlist.
Okay.
That I never listened to.
Let me know when you want to just hear the list, and I'll just tell you the list.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of any other like. I'm bad at this because the ones I think of I know are not the best selling.
Yeah.
Okay, so read me the list.
Going from 10 down, we have Last Christmas by Wham.
Okay.
Which came out in 1984. We have Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms, which came out in 1957. We have Feliz Navidad, which came out in 1970. We have Christmas Canon, which is a Trans-Siberian Orchestra song, came out in 1998. Where Are You Christmas is the first of the movies going backwards down here. That's from the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 2000.
Oh, the little girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, this is the Faith Hill version, the regularly recorded, like the recording version.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same. It's the same song. It's just Faith Hill singing it. 5, we got Rockin' Around Christmas Tree. 4, you got Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. 3 is another Trans-Siberian Orchestra song, Christmas Eve, Sarajevo. Which you hear in a lot. You'll see it in a lot of commercials, and you'll hear it in a lot of like music with like the lights and stuff. You see that.
Yeah.
2 is the other movie one, and I was surprised to see this one on here, I will say. It's from 2013. It is Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
Oh.
From Frozen.
Okay.
Which I didn't
even think of that as a Christmas song.
I was surprised to see it on here.
I mean, it makes sense because Frozen did so well.
Frozen did very well.
I remember seeing that in theaters. Yeah. Interesting.
Fun.
I only got like three or 4 of those.
Fun Disney fact, by the way. Fun Disney fact. Frozen. So, Disney has a group of characters called the Disney Princesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cinderella, Snow White, all of them. You don't actually have to be a princess to be a Disney princess. You just have to be a heroic character of some sort or whatever. And they change. Like there's characters sometimes that have been princesses and then been taken out or whatever. But even though both Anna and Elsa are princesses or queens at one point, they are not in the category of Disney princess. They're not lumped into that category because the franchise makes so much money on its own that they figure it will be worth less if they lump them in with all the other ones. So they're not Disney princesses.
Interesting.
They're their own thing. They're their own thing. Frozen's
so
its own
they are
thing.
Disney princesses, but they're not Disney princesses.
Exactly. They're Disney princesses, but not Disney princesses. Fun Disney fact. Anyway, number 1 is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. We talked about that. So,
yeah.
Okay. I have one other thing like this that I think will be fun to do, and this one you're probably going to do even worse at.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really good at these.
Okay. So, I've got a list. 100. We're only going to do the top, like, let's say top 10.
Okay.
We'll do the top 10 again.
Okay.
100 most popular Christmas movies.
Okay.
Okay.
Polar Express.
In top 10?
Yes.
No. Is it even on this list?
Rudolph.
Yes. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is number 6. That is the
Okay.
TV movie, the Rankin and Bass. That's why I say I think that's obviously the most popular one. I don't know that I've ever saw the other ones, but
like the other stop animation ones.
I didn't see a lot of the other stop animation ones from that time. But the Polar Express is number 27, by the way.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be higher.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman is not in the top 10. I'm sure it's on here somewhere, but it's not in the top 10.
Weird. Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation is. It's number 8.
Are you kidding me?
It's number
That
8.
is such a bad movie.
I love Christmas Vacation. It's very popular.
Oh, Home Alone? Is Home Alone
Home Alone is number 3.
Okay, that's a good one. I actually like that one. I agree with that being up there.
Okay.
Maybe not number 3, but up there. Goodness. I don't think I know many other Christmas movies that I can think of. All right, read me the top 10.
Top 10 are 10 Gremlins.
What the heck is that?
This list, by the way, is from IMDb, so don't come at me for listing something that's weird. Number 10 is Gremlins. Have you never seen Gremlins?
No.
Gremlins is like a little he's basically like a Furby is what he makes me think of. He's a little it was a Disney movie. He's a little like Furby looking thing, but the rule is dad buys it for his kid for Christmas, little Furby looking thing. Rule is you can't get him wet and you can't feed him after midnight. And both of those things happen, and bad things happen. Cuz he's this little fur ball.
Okay.
But when he gets wet, he multiplies. Yeah. So he clones himself. Every time you get him wet, he clones himself, which is weird.
And that's number 10?
That's number 10.
Okay.
Number 9 is Miracle on 34th Street. Never heard of that?
No idea.
Nah, okay. That one I'm not surprised
at. I've heard the title, I think.
Number 8 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. 7 is Elf.
Is that the one I said?
Yeah, Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 is Elf.
Ugh.
6 is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. 5 is A Christmas Story. 4 is A Christmas Carol. 3 is Home Alone. 2 is Die Hard. And 1 is It's a Wonderful Life.
I haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen Die Hard. Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
I guess Carol. I've only seen the Muppets, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, the Muppets is my favorite version. So.
And I think I've read the book, but I don't know that I've seen a movie of it.
Some other ones. Yeah. Some other ones that I thought were interesting on here is Edward Scissorhands is number 12. I like Edward Scissorhands.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen that one? That's not surprising at all. That's not surprising. I mean, nobody's surprised when you say you haven't seen a movie. A Charlie Brown Christmas is number 16. The Nightmare Before...
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas is number 18. Frosty's number 23. Let's see here. Polar Express is number 27. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is 28. That's the Jim Carrey one, I believe.
Yeah. I don't like the Grinch either.
Let's see here.
I think this all stems from, and I told you this earlier, if I don't like the main character, I usually don't like the movie because my brain can't get past it. So things like the Grinch and I don't know.
Oh, I love the Grinch. I love the Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
And that's why I didn't like National Lampoon's Vacation, because I watched that for the first time like on Monday because Casey wanted to watch it. And I was like, I just despise the main guy. So I can't
I get that.
I don't know, the movie just annoyed me.
That's fine. Like, I understand. I mean, you didn't like Jaws, so, you know, it's
Ugh, no.
Whatever.
I love the music. But.
Yeah. Santa Claus Is Coming to Town is number 52, by the way. Number 52 on this list. A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas is number 75.
Never seen it.
That doesn't surprise me. Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever is number 90.
Okay.
Oh, anyway, yeah, that's yeah.
That was fun.
Muppet
I got a
Christmas
couple.
Carol. You did.
I mean, 3 or 4 more than I thought.
I don't see Muppet Christmas Carol on here. I mean, A Christmas Carol is on here, but I don't see Muppet Christmas Carol. So yeah. I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a little longer than most of them, but we did 2 movies because I thought it'd be fun to do a couple of Christmas ones this something different.
Yeah.
Something different. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and next week, Nick will not be joining me next week. I will tell you that now. We're going to watch Nashville, 1975. So, I will talk to you guys then.
Bye.